Myanmar, a beautiful country with diverse culture and ethnicities. With amazing buildings such as the pagoda. But the same could not be said for Myanmar's history. Myanmar was full of insurgencies, civil wars, ethnic conflicts, suffering, military rule, tyranny, separation, and chaos, with the main cause being the 1962 Burmese coup d'etat. The 1962 Burmese coup d'etat marked the beginning of one-party rule in Burma. But even throughout Myanmar's horrible history, there was one person who spoke out to make a change. She is a politician, diplomat, Nobel Peace Prize winner, author, leader, and daughter of a martyred national hero. That person's name is Suu Kyi was born on June 19, 1945 in Rangoon, Burma. Her father Aung San was a national hero in Burma, but was unfortunately killed only 2 years after Suu Kyi was born. She lived and attended schools in Burma till 1960, when she had to move to India due to her mother being appointed ambassador. Later, she graduated from the University of Delhi in 1964 and St. Hugh's College in 1968, and also working at United Nations for 3 years. In 1972, she married the British scholar Michael Rees. The two had children and lived together till 1988. In 1988, Suu Kyi had to return to Myanmar to nurse her dying mother. But while she was nursing her dying mother, she noticed the mass killings of protesters as a result of the 8888 uprising. The 8888 uprising was a series of nationwide protests, marches, and riots in Burma that peaked in August 8, 1988, hence 8888 uprising. During the 8888 uprising, Suu Kyi rose to prominence from one of her speeches at the pagoda. A good representation of this would be a scene from the movie The Lady.
Adu ludu asia we poeji ha. Pidu ludu ye sandago. Tega balonga ti au. Topo piata lai da babe. Digane chilpade asia we ji karo. Pidu ludu te along ha. Natizon democracy seneko. Yaji ne de sanda. Pimpia ne de jamo. Chilpaya de asia we ji piapade.
This led to her beginning a peaceful, non-violent struggle for democracy and human rights in Myanmar. And in the same year, Suu Kyi founded the National League for Democracy. On July 20, 1989, Aung San Suu Kyi was placed under house arrest in Rangoon by the junta and wasn't allowed to communicate with other people. The junta even offered to free her if she agreed to leave Myanmar, which she declined unless the country was returned to a peaceful, civilian government and political prisoners were freed. In 1990, the National League for Democracy, which Suu Kyi founded, won more than 80% of the parliamentary seats. Unfortunately, results were still ignored by the junta and were actually formally annulled by the junta in 2010. In 1991, the Norwegian Nobel Committee decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize to Aung San Suu Kyi because of her non-violent struggle for democracy and human rights. But Suu Kyi was still detained, so her son accepted the award on her behalf.
I will now call upon Michael, Alexander, and Kim Aris to come forward to receive the gold medal and the diploma on behalf of their wife and mother, the Nobel Peace Prize laureate 1991, Aung San Suu Kyi.
On the same year, Suu Kyi published a book called Freedom from Fear, which is both an essay by her and a book of the same name comprising a collection of her essays. This later was put on New York Times and inspired the major feature film The Lady, which we saw a clip of earlier. Suu Kyi also gave out many speeches, such as this one from AP.
This week, the chairman of our party wrote to the chairman of the SLORC, Senior General Planche, to say that we do not feel that this law will be an aid to progress towards democracy, and that we think that this law may be misused to, in fact, hinder progress towards democracy. And we also feel that national reconciliation cannot be achieved by the way in which some of the newspapers and other parts of the media have been attacking our organization. So we have brought out an official statement with regard to our feelings on this law, but I cannot go into more detail at this moment since the hour is coming to an end, and I would like our people to disperse in safety before it starts to rain. So thank you very much for all that you have done.
Aung San Suu Kyi is truly one of the most extraordinary examples of civil courage in Asia in recent decades. She will forever be known as the person who changed Myanmar, and as the mother of Myanmar.